Welcome back to another episode of Ryan's Shooting Podcast. This time we're going to be talking about what it's like to be a collegiate student athlete and to compete at the NCAA level. To help me do this, I've convinced a fellow resident athlete rifle shooter here at the Olympic Training Center to come on and share his experiences as a collegiate athlete and to just have a conversation with me about this topic. I hope you enjoy. Okay. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Ryan.
Okay, so today we're talking about college shooting. So, first of all, I want to give a little bit of background about yourself. Who are you? What are your major shooting accomplishments? Where you go to school? That kind of thing.
Sure. My name is Matt Chezem. I went to school at the University of Akron for 3 years, and I'm currently taking a year off. And I am at the Olympic Training Center right now. Some of my major accomplishments are winning the Junior Olympics in men's prone and winning the national championships in men's prone. I've competed in a few World Cups and traveled a little bit. Still looking forward to seeing where I can go with it, though.
All right, cool. So this isn't really an interview. It's going to be more of a conversation, so I'll give you my side of everything as well. So I went to the University of Alaska. I went there for 4 years. I graduated. I'm done, which is nice. And
yeah.
So that's my college shooting. Very basic overview. So, Matt,
Yes.
give me an idea of how you would describe the college shooting lifestyle, what it's like to be a student athlete from your perspective.
It's exhausting, I think.
Why
it's
is it
great.
exhausting?
It's great, but it's exhausting. You're really busy when you're shooting and going to school at the same time, so you have to be really on top of your schedule, and sometimes it just gets really tiring having to travel every week for a match, training 4-5 days a week, and then traveling on the weekend, trying to get your homework done on a plane or in a bus or a car or wherever.
Yeah, what was your training schedule like at Akron? Because it was probably a little different from what mine was like.
Yeah, we share a range at Akron, so our training schedule was scheduled so everybody could get into the range. So we had, I think it was 4 days a week of training, and it alternated between like 7 to 10 in the morning and 3 to 6 at night. So like Monday, Wednesday it would be in the morning, and Tuesday, Thursday would be at the night. I don't remember. And then we also had workouts 3 days a week at about 7 in the morning for about an hour as a team.
Yeah. And then, so your school is obviously in the middle of the country, so you'd have matches like every week or like a couple times a semester. How would your match schedule work?
Our match schedule would usually be every week once the season started. Usually started going to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, and so we would drive there on Friday, which probably is like an 8-hour drive, shoot the next day, get in the van, and drive home that day.
Yeah.
So on a weekend you spent 16 hours in a car and then 8 hours shooting, and then on Sunday you had to get all your homework in.
Yeah. All right, so that's quite a bit different from the way everything worked for us in Alaska, partially just because we were so far away from everyone. So our match schedule, we would travel maybe 2 or 3 times a semester, but we'd hit 3 schools per trip and we'd be gone for a whole week, just because of the cost and time commitment that it takes to fly all the way down from Alaska or get people to come all the way up to Alaska. So we'd have big breaks in between our matches, which was kind of nice. But then for our training, it was very convenient for us because we had our own range, essentially. Anytime that the athletic building was open, we could train on the range. So that was from like 6 in the morning until 9 at night every day. If we wanted to be there all day long, we theoretically could be. And it was kind of our job to come in and train at whatever time was convenient and work with our training schedule. And then we'd have practice matches on weekends, so we didn't have actual matches. And then our expectation was to have 16 hours on the gun every week, not including cleaning the range and any other duties or activities you have to do at the range. And then we were also expected to have 3 hours of physical training a week, which we did on our own. So I guess things vary from school to school. But yeah, it was the same kind of deal. Big time commitment. You have to be, really on top of things in terms of time management. But I don't know. What are some of the positives, Matt? Instead of all the doom and gloom.
You meet a really good group of people through shooting. Even competing schools, you meet people, and I'm friends with Ryan, and we shot against each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet a really good group of people. You get to push yourself, and you get to say that you are a collegiate athlete. Also, if you're looking to go forward with shooting in the future, training while you're at school really helps. I think.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to, shoot after college at all, or if you want to, I don't know, come out here to the Olympic Training Center and be a resident here, or if you want to go down and be a member of the Army Marksmanship Unit, you should definitely be shooting in college and competing in the NCAAs and all of that kind of thing. I guess another positive would be that you can get scholarships for shooting.
Yes, you can.
Although they are somewhat limited. The NCAA rules are that a single college shooting team can have no more than 3.6 total scholarships awarded however the coach wants. So that means 7 people can have half a full scholarship or however the coach sees fit to break it up. So there is opportunity for some scholarship, and most teams are probably about 12 people or so. Ours was 10 or 12.
Ours was pretty big. Ours was 15, 17.
Oh, wow, that is big. Okay.
Yeah.
I think most schools are closer to 12.
Yeah, Kentucky is also pretty big.
Yeah. So, different schools, their recruiting's a little different. Some schools will straight up only go out and recruit people to be on their team. Others will accept a lot of walk-ons. So people who aren't quite at the top of the junior rankings nationally can still a lot of the time walk on to teams, and you won't be on scholarship, but you'll get to train, have the opportunity to progress and maybe compete on the scoring team in the future, since the scoring teams in NCAA competition are only 5. So that's something to be aware of too.
Yeah.
Anything else on that topic you can think of?
On that topic, no, not really.
Okay.
One of the kind of tough things that you need to be aware of is you'll miss a lot of classes because you're traveling. Not so much training, but traveling for sure. And so you need to know ahead of time when your classes are going to be missed so you can talk to your professors. I had to miss multiple finals because of traveling.
Yeah, so did I.
I missed like 3 or 4 days of classes to go to the NCAAs up in Alaska.
Yeah.
And you just need to be aware of it. Most teachers that I've come across are super supportive about it as long as you approach them ahead of time.
Yeah.
But other than that, you just need to be aware of it.
I suppose as a student athlete in general, there are some extra resources you can probably take advantage of.
Yeah.
And it'll vary depending on your school. But, it might be easier for you to get tutoring for your math classes or whatever it is. And obviously there's sports med kind of stuff, so if you have any problems, it's pretty easy to get them taken care of. And all of that good stuff. So, yeah, there's quite a few benefits associated with doing it.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how about choosing a school? How do you pick where you want to go?
It's a tough one. Definitely look at what you want to do with your degree, what you want to go with in a career, and go and look at what schools have that option, because not all schools will have what you want to study.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the big one. And if you want to study something pretty general, like chemistry, most colleges have a chemistry degree. So look at the program. How good is the program? What will it do for you in the future? I think.
Yeah, and your choices are a little limited. Most schools don't have shooting teams.
Yeah.
When we think of shooting teams at universities, we think mostly of the NCAA teams, but there are club teams. So depending on your level and how far you want to go in the sport, if you mostly just like to do it recreationally, then some of the teams or some of the schools with club teams might have a little bit less of a training requirement, but you still get to shoot, and you all of a sudden open up doors to a lot of other schools. So that might be something you want to look into if it's more of a recreational thing and less of a really strongly competitive thing and goals that you have for your future in shooting.
Yeah. And when you decide, narrow it down, definitely go and visit the schools if you can, hang out with the team, because you're going to spend a big chunk of your life with the team and the coach. So it really helps if you get along and enjoy the other people.
Yeah, the coach is another big thing. Coaches vary in their pros and cons, what they're good at and what they aren't. There's a lot of really good college coaches out there, but you really should get to either know them personally or at least talk to people who know them personally so that you can kind of get an idea of whether or not the coach at a particular school is going to be a good match with, how you're motivated and how you work and how you train and how you learn. So all of those things just concerning the coach and concerning the team and team chemistry and everything like that is a big deal. And a lot of schools will do, they'll bring you up to visit for 2 or 3 days or so, which can be a really good opportunity to see how the school works, see how the team trains, how they all get along.
Yeah.
So those are big aspects in terms of choosing what school is going to be best for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? You could think of?
I'm sure I could think of a lot of things.
Overall, I would say I had a great experience in college shooting. It really gives you a lot of competition experience, which really helps you to build your competitive skills if you want to really become competitive and, shoot against, at the world stage in the future. So
yeah,
it's definitely part of that competitive route and getting you to the top.
Yeah, of the best in the world, a lot of them have shot in college, especially in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Really helps being able to train 4 or 5 days a week and
not have to buy your own ammo.
Yeah, not have to buy any ammo, and all your travel is pretty much paid for.
Yeah, going to Alaska especially, it's nice. I mean, we only get 2 or 3 road trips this semester, but when it's really dark and really cold in the middle of the winter, it can be really nice to, have a paid trip for a week to, Dallas or something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of positives. I would say the positives are more than the negatives.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, all I have. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. A big thanks to Matt. It's always a lot more fun to have another person here to talk with me about these things. So after he left, I did have another couple of things here that I thought of that I wanted to include. So first of all, if you're, for example, a high school shooter right now, a very smart thing you should do is take AP credits. And so that when you get to college, you have those credits already marked off. That's a good idea, even if you're not going to be a student athlete. But the idea here is to try and keep your course load as manageable as possible. What I did when I went to college was, number one, I came in with 20-some AP credits. And then I also took at least one class over the summer, maybe online. And by doing that, I was able to keep my course load below 16 credits every semester, which really made it, I don't want to say easy, but it made it a lot more manageable compared to, say, someone who has to deal with 18 or 20 credits of college classes as well as trying to train full-time. So definitely try to keep those schedules down to a manageable level by taking those AP classes and summer classes. Another thing that is important for you if you're looking to shoot in college is to focus on standing air rifle and 3-position small bore, because that's what we shoot in college. I know a lot of high school shooters are big 3P air shooters, and you can do that for fun, but if you have goals and aspirations to be a top collegiate competitor or a top collegiate recruit, you really need to be focusing on those international style events, so standing air rifle and 3-position small bore. 3P air rifle might get you the basics for how to shoot positions, but that's not a big thing college coaches are looking for, and So focus on those international style events. Finally, coaches can't talk to you by the NCAA rules until a certain date. And I'm not exactly sure what that date is, but it's just so you're aware of it. They can be nice to you and kind of say, oh, hello, nice to meet you, but they can't actively recruit you until, if it's not a military academy, they cannot actively recruit you until, I believe, your senior year. So I say go out and get to know these coaches, but you'll only be able to do it in a friendly way. They won't be able to actually work on recruiting you until later in your high school career. So just things to be aware of, and I hope this episode was informative for you, and I hope you reach your goals in collegiate shooting in the future. Talk to you next week. Bye.